Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. If you're new to this channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button and also hit the bell icon besides it to get notified whenever I upload a new video. In today's video, I want to talk about a client story of mine that most of the freelancers face, and my tips and tricks might help you out. So I had this client when I started out as a social media manager. I used to edit videos for this particular client, and I got this client from a WhatsApp group. Okay. So this client was living in the US but hired me from India. That time I used to live in India. Now I stay in Canada. So it was about two videos for 2000 rupees, and they were long YouTube videos. And that time, even though I didn't have like super polished skills, I still had good enough video editing skills. So this client was super needy, and she had so many revisions. She was unhappy with everything that I was doing, and literally she sent me these long paragraphs of WhatsApp messages of how bad my service is. And I started to go into this self doubt of about how I'm not capable of delivering the things that I promised. And it might have happened to you as well, that you have had a hard time with the client, and it can get really tough when you are the only person in your business that is working for your own self. So, how do you deal with this situation and how do you tackle this situation? So, the very first thing that I realized is having super strong boundaries. The thing that I missed out on was like replying to this client late at night and, always being available to them, which was a very big red flag in terms of how I used to manage clients. So, I am very mindful now of how I manage clients. So once I had those boundaries, I never had to, bend to the client, whatever the client says. So the very first thing, whenever you take a new client, always set very clear boundaries that what are your working hours, how will you respond to that client. I like tell the client that I will only be available from 9 to 5 p.m, the time zone, and also tell them that I will only respond to your messages via email and not WhatsApp. So, WhatsApp is something personal, and sometimes what happens is when you are interacting with a client on WhatsApp, it gets mixed up with your personal life as well. And sometimes it's very hard to ignore WhatsApp messages, and that's what used to happen with me. And I was always ready to, reply to that client. So, the thing that made a difference was clear communication with the client that okay, I'm not going to be available after this specific point of time, and if you have any changes, there will be only two revisions available, so please be mindful of the revisions that you give me. Because what happens is whenever the client feels like okay, this is not working out, they will constantly give you revisions. Some of the clients at least do that. And so I would say that be very clear in your communication in the beginning itself, so that you don't have to face any problems like these later on. The second thing was the client was not clear about what they wanted. So whenever you take on a new client, always have a questionnaire form to fill out. So whenever you take on a new client, make sure that you have like an onboarding form about their set expectations from you. So this will give you like a little bit of idea about what kind of videos they're expecting from you or what kind of work they're expecting from you. Another red flag was that this client didn't know what she wanted, and so every time I used to make a revision, she was like okay, this is not what I want, can you change it to this? And it would just waste my time because I would constantly be doing revisions for her. And so I literally stood up after a point and said that okay, I genuinely cannot do your work anymore and I have to offboard you as a client. So at that time, every all the conversations that were happening was on WhatsApp. So I don't have those chats, but if I had, I would have like blurred out the name and shown you the chats, but there were such long indications about, I am not being responsive, or my time was not valuable, because it made me feel like my time was not valuable, because she used to message at any hour of the day, and I had to be super quick in responding. I had to be available on calls, and for what? Just like $20 or 2000 rupees, which was insane to me when I think about it right now. But yeah, so that was the whole situation. So, this was all about my client experience and how I had to let go of that client. It didn't end well. The client was offended because I left her and she constantly kept blaming me. So, it did not end at a good note. But sometimes it's good to end things, because for your own mental peace, even though you are your own boss, even though you know what type of clients you want after working with such clients. So I took it as a lesson, and then I have never ever worked with such clients ever in my life. Even if I spot any red flag at the beginning stage, I make sure that I have clear communication with the client, which because communication is everything when it comes to running your own business. How you communicate with the client judges you based on that. So yeah, that's how I improved myself. And if you are at a stage right now where you feel very stuck because of some random client that is stressing you out, it is best to let go of that client and work towards clients that are much more fulfilling, much more have the same values as you. So there are people out there, there is abundance of money to make, there is abundance of people out there who will value what you provide, and I'm here to tell you that it is definitely 101% possible. I hope this video was super valuable to you, and I will see you in the next episode of Unfiltered. Till then, bye bye and see you.